better, speaking with people who have lost loved ones, I'm sure you get to understand. Right now, when I remember my mom, I remember her fondly. Over time, you'll be stronger. Okay? So we'll move on and see. I don't know if this audio is for confession. Let me play it. If by chance it is a confession, let's listen to it quickly. Okay, this is not for me. Say afa. Okay, we have another one here.
Swat, good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is King MC Alat, running this voice note from Kubwa. Yes, my own contribution about Wiki and...
All right, that's different. Okay, good afternoon, Madam Swat. I guess today we didn't have the culture series, or did I miss it? No, you did not. We did not have it today because of the commercial we had. Thank you, Yellow Victor. Good afternoon, Vocal Majesty. Losing a dad is never easy, especially if one was close to his or her dad. Probably the gentleman did not cry or grieve due to shock after his dad's passing. So now that the shock has gone, he's facing the reality. Let him grieve so that he can get himself. If not, it can affect him. From Mrs. Ishaku in Bari. Very true. Very, very true, Mrs. Ishaku. So, yeah, Mr. John, allow yourself, go through the motion, grieve your father, and you'll find out that you get stronger and stronger as time passes on. Okay, let me see. We have another confession here. It says, hello, SWAT. My husband died and his house was willed to his son. We do not have any children together, though. Do you think I have a right to stay in the house? We were married for 12 years before he died last year. Okay, so that's one question that Anonymous is asking. Married for 12 years. So I guess you guys were most probably either divorcees or widowers and widow who got together, or maybe you guys married at an advanced stage, right? If he has a son, I'm just assuming no, because there's no details. So if you can give us details of that, I would really love to know. But she said she was married to her husband for 12 years. They did not have any child together. And now he passed away. He obviously had a will, because she said that the house which they live in, which is her husband's, of course, has been willed to his son, which is not her own son, because they do not have kids together. So I'm assuming you guys got married. He probably had a son before he married you, and he prepared a will and willed out the house to his son. Now the question is, do you think I have a right to stay in the house? We were married for 12 years before he died last year. Staying in the house, and okay, maybe your problem is staying in the house, maybe temporarily, until the boy is of age or the boy wants to take over the house, whatever it is. Of course, you probably can negotiate that. You can negotiate that with the boy. I don't know how old he is. I don't know what your relationship is with the boy, but that's the unfortunate reality, Most times when parents make their will, most of the time is always in favor of their children, is always in favor of their children. But then also, in many other instances, you see spouses leaving behind houses and other properties to the other spouse, which they assume would be alive or would outlive them. But in many of such instances, I remember there was a case of a guy who called me and said he felt betrayed when his wife died and she willed out almost everything, to their son and not to him as her husband. Or maybe they have their reasons. You can't question that. After all, it is the person who is, who writes the will. You have to honor their will. That's why the name is there. It's a reflection of what their will is, that things or how things should be carried out after their death. And most of the time, we get to see some of these things being contested before the law. I don't know the success rates and all of that, but I also feel that there's a place of negotiation. There's a place of, talking about these things, not to change the will, but maybe in your own case, like you wanting time to stay in the house, maybe before you can move on or move out, chances are, I think the justification for this sort of thing is that maybe my spouse, after I'm gone, would move on with their lives. And in many instances, you get to see that happen, right? If you wheel out the stuff to them and they marry another person, what happens to their children? So you see the justification most of the times when people would rather wheel out their property to their children because their spouses may move on or may not, but their children would always carry on with their legacies and stuff like that. So maybe you should talk, negotiate that with the son if he's of age, and see how you're able to buy time. And he might have left other things for you in the will. I don't know. But I think at this case, it's not so much about fighting or having some back and forth. It's about some sort of understanding, right? Maybe. So you should try your best. Let me see this one. Another one here says, hello, Swat. We had a normal fight with my wife. She said a word which I didn't like, and I decided to teach her a lesson. I stopped talking to her there and then. The next morning, she realized her mistake and apologized, and I didn't bother. She apologized countless times, but I was silent. She then went silent too. Her facial expression displayed her anger towards my rejection of her apology. For the entire day, she didn't talk to me. By evening, I felt bad for her. Her love conquered my mind and overwhelmed my emotion and transformed them from anger to love and guilt. I gave up on my ego and decided to talk to her, and she didn't reply. I apologized, and she still did not reply me. What do I need to do to make her respond to me? Okay, good. God. Okay, someone should help me with this one. I don't know. When you see two adults sometimes behaving like children, you just want. You started a circle. Now she has joined you in that circle of malice keeping or the silent treatment, and you are now feeling very bad about the whole thing. Why do people do this kind of things? It's okay that sometimes, people have misunderstandings and decide not to talk there and then because you don't want to say wrong words. But then when somebody comes to apologize once, twice, 3 times, and you are giving them the silent treatment, it will hurt. It will definitely hurt. So both of you need to, keep the baggages aside and talk, right? And I'm sensing that this is a pattern. You want to teach her a lesson. Okay, anybody that wants to please contribute on this, please help me out because I don't even know what to say about this, right? It's kind of funny, but then it's a real issue for a man who decided to teach a lesson, and it's now bouncing back. She apologized. He said she apologized countless times, but I was silent. So one would wonder, why would you do that kind of thing? And then she has now gone silent to her facial expression displaying her anger towards his rejection and apology. For the entire day, she didn't talk to him. And now that he's feeling bad and he's feeling guilty and he knows he loves his wife, she is not responding to him. So he's asking, what should he do? Okay, anyone who has quick suggestions to that, please let me know what you think and what you think this man can do to win back his wife. Let's hear one or two people before we move on to other confessions. Hello?
Oh, good afternoon, Swat.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Sunday. I'm calling you from Wari.
All right.
Yeah, I want to say that for that man that his wife is not listening to him, I think what he needs to do is to just, make her understand. Maybe he has not apologized enough. It's something that both sides are trying to also let each other know that, okay, I'm angry, and then you were angry at first, I was angry. He needs to come to her and tell her, sweetheart, my wife, whatever love name they call themselves, I am sorry. I know you were angry. At some point, I was also angry. Yes, please forgive me. We can't just stop talking to each other just for this long. He needs to do more to really get the wife to get, to talk to him again. And then that's all. They just need to communicate properly. He needs to do it better. It's either he's not doing it well, or he's still letting the pride in him also, make the woman to still feel, oh no, he does not deserve my attention at this point in time. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. I hope you're listening and you would learn a thing or two. Hello, please switch off your radio.
Yeah, hello, Swat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Swat, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
Justice of peace.
All right.
I would advise the young brother, he should just try the wife with 2 million and 1 cow. I'm very sure she will respond.
2 million and 1 cow. What do you mean 2 million and 1 cow?
He should just dash her 2 million naira and kill 1 cow for her. I tell you.
Justice of peace, you think it's everybody's pocket that is as fat as your own, Adi?
That is what. For me, this one you don't even need to plead. Just knock 2 million for her account. Kill 1 cow for her. She will just respond it quickly. But you see, anti-SWAT, there is what most women don't understand. If you offend a man and you tell him sorry, sometimes we don't. The way we respond is to watch your reactions and see the real change in you. But we've forgiven you and we've let go. After all, you are a wife. If we throw you away, who will we go and impress, So, but most women think maybe when the man is still keeping silence, he's still keeping the grudges. No, he's not keeping the grudges. He has let go. But he really want to see that changes. So as a wise woman, all you need to do is just doing what is right. Just do what is right. You see, maybe you give him some touch, queen during night, and you see the man will come up to himself and begin to smile.
No, but I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right that a person is apologizing countless time and because you want to see changes. I feel sometimes we overdo things. He said that she apologized countless times. At least, even if you don't want to talk at that moment, you're like, okay, this thing, please, can you just give me some time? You understand? Because I understand some people get angry and do not want to talk at that moment.
Don't you know we men too, they do shakara? You know what I'm saying? We say they do shakara.
Yes, sometimes. You do shakara, but then you communicate. This is your wife. This is not your I don't know, it's somebody you're playing around with. Do you understand?
In shakara don't put her for trouble. But I've advised him, he should just give the dash woman 2 million and kill 1 cow for the woman. I tell you, the woman will respond easily.
Okay, thank you. It's okay, right? See, the emotions, people have different kinds of emotion and express it different ways, but don't let it become really toxic. There's no hard and fast rule to these things. You understand your partner and you should learn to communicate your feelings at that moment. If you're the kind of person who doesn't want to talk at that moment because you're overwhelmed with what has happened and you feel you are not in the right frame of mind to communicate or begin normal relations at that moment, why don't you tell them to give you a bit of time so that you can just brood over the whole thing and then, after some time. But this overstretching sometimes too, it communicates the fact of rejection. Like, I'm coming, I'm apologizing, you're ignoring me, you're not answering me. It communicates rejection, and some people don't know how to deal with that. So I would say that this is a marriage. This is not a hanky-panky game you're playing. You should learn to speak in ways that your partner understands so as to avoid this sort of stuff. But yeah, I think you are very right, Justice of Peace. Women connect a lot with money, So just do some monetary gift. I think some very serious, wonderful alert is going to open up something that you can now use from there too, So yeah, let's see. I think we have more confessions, or do we take one more call still on this issue before we move on? Yes, I think I will take this last call on this particular issue. Then we move. Hello.
Thank you, Mr. Swat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Tony from Guarimpa.
All right, go ahead.
I agree with the last speaker. To send her an alarm.
I say alarm.
Not an alarm. An alarm.
Alarm.
Yes, an alarm.
Dim, on her phone.
$1 million or 2 naira to land. Yeah, just shock her and surprise her. But I mean, it's what, seriously, so we should know our wife's love language. Understand her love and then meet her love language. And she will respond. The guy started it. He made a mistake from number 1. So you want to teach your wife a lesson? you are, see, whatever you do to your wife, you are doing to yourself. As soon as you get married, you are now one. So you are punishing your wife, you are punishing yourself. Women put ourselves in our wife's shoes. Your wife is now in marriage. Automatically, 1 plus 1 is 2. So marriage is, you are now one. And that's the mistake most of us men are making. Going to teach your wife. You are not teach. The wife has said, I will teach this man a lesson too. Look at this. Let me teach him to a lesson. So don't do that. Anything you do to your wife, you are doing to yourself. So learn, we men should learn and stop, being punitive. Want to teach your wife? No, don't know you are. If your wife is suffering, you are suffering.
All right.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
honestly.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much. If your spouse is not happy, then you cannot also be happy. I mean, depending on the kind of relationship, because there are some people that live separate lives. So don't take things too far sometimes. I mean, yeah, there's room for communicating boundaries even to your spouse, but then overstretching it and overtaking it or making it go extreme is becomes inimical. You guys are a team. You're not opposition who want to teach each other a lesson. That's not why you're together. You're there to build together, to keep developing and progressing as a team. But when this thing, I want to teach a lesson, I want to do this, it becomes inimical to the progress of your union as a team. So I think we need to watch that. All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. I'm not taking any more contribution on this. We'll still bring that up tomorrow. I think I started playing this one now. Did I? Okay. Mrs. Ishaku in Buhari said, Swat, women are forgivers. He thinks he can keep malice. Now the HOD is teaching him how. The HOD is teaching him how far, and he is complaining. He should look for someone she respects to speak to her, buy her STH. What's STH that she loves? Surprise her, Jerry, for Mrs. Ishaku. Okay, yes. So take a cue, send her some good alerts, right? Do something nice for her and apologize. And please, next time, just talk about these things and get it on. Time is wasted. You wake up tomorrow, somebody is not there, and you're wondering. You don't want that to happen. Is this voice note for me?
Hello, Barrister Swat. Good afternoon. I heard what I've just read now. Somebody married for 12 years. It's like the person I've married before. Probably he divorced the person or the person died, something of that nature. But the truth remains that whenever a woman is married, except the husband return her back to the family or the woman choose to go, whether in death or alive, nobody has right to detach her from that house where she was married to. Now the husband is married, automatically she is the stepmother of this very boy that they will this house to. And if that boy is a responsible boy, he is not supposed to harm that woman for any reason at all, because he should show respect to the father. That is my contribution on that. But the case of the person who is crying because he lost the father, probably he was not so close to the father when the father died or before the father died. Because if you are very close, I don't know how old the man was before he departed, but the truth remains that when you are closer to an aged person, sometimes some of them, they will even tell you one or two things that will make you to be in charge when they are no longer there. Thank you. My name is Chimeze from Gwagwalada.
All right. Thank you, Chimeze. Appreciate. Thank you for your contribution. All right. We have some messages here. The man should present to his wife what she loves and admires so much. Elder Olatuja, coming from Ushafa. Okay. So I think, Oga, you need to find a way of communicating something to your wife so that you guys will settle that. I think many people are in agreement to that. The man should just break the cycle of malice. That's why he is the man. He should take the lead by taking the bull by the horn. We fight to reconcile in marriage many times. It's normal. Pastor Shehu Adeabo from Gwarimpa. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, Barrister Swat. This is my voice note above. It's a confession, please. I need help. Okay, let's play that quickly.
Hello, Barrister Swat. Thank you for a good job you are doing. I actually have this heart-touching story, and I also much need encouragement or advice from listeners and your guests. It's a story concerning my life, the woman in my life. Recently, after a very nice outing, she somehow succumbed and then decided to share some from her past with me. I actually beckoned her to, because she's someone that I don't usually talk. My wife is someone that you will try to lure her into discussing anything about herself, and she will find it difficult. You will stay with her, and she will you can count how many times in hours she open her mouth to talk about things. And this time around, it happened that actually we've been married for almost 4 years now. We wedded, we did everything, and then here we are with 2 kids. Let's say 3 years and 3 years and 8 months in marriage. Thereabout. I have 2 daughters. We have 2 daughters. She told me something about herself. Before I married her, she has a baby. But this baby happens that when she was at her stage around 17, 18 years, a young man saw her and fall in love with her. Both of them had a baby together. But the guy, according to her, proposed to her. This kind of thing out of exuberance of stuff. The guy proposed to her that he's going to marry her, and without her parents' knowledge, along the line she got pregnant for him, but the guy denied it. The guy said he's not ready to go into anything marriage, and then she became very angry. My point here, when she told me the story, is not about the baby, because she told me before the marriage that she has a baby. But because I love her, I went ahead, I married her. Getting to know her was something anybody, if I talk about it, people will wonder. I actually met on social media, and though it was our community social media group, so we got along together. Within few months, we got married. We were just like 3-4 months thereabout. We got married after I met her. And she told me this story about having a child. I said, no problem. But the child is not with her. Said the child with the guy's mother. But one thing that she told me recently that troubled me and shook me seriously, and I'm looking for someone to advise me, is concerning her present condition with her daughter. She told me she went as far as trying to deal with the guy. She makes sure she ruined the guy's life. That today the guy is locked in prison, and she know that the guy is not coming out alive somewhere outside the country, according to her. That she went so far as going to do some kind of diabolic things, going to throw some things, material in the water, just to make incantation against the guy and making sure that she useless the guy. And she hates that her daughter, that she don't want to set her eyes on her. Her mind is so bitter and made up against him and her daughter, that she didn't even breastfeed the girl when she finished giving birth to her. That the mother, the family, nobody, she didn't want to see the girl after everything. Initially the child was taken to sister's home also. Then later they took her away. She didn't know anything about the girl. And the girl should be like 13 years right now, 13 or 14 years thereabout. And I was asking her, why this bitterness? Why do you have to go this far? She says, till today, she don't want to talk about this girl. I'm so confused. I told her I don't know how it will look like in the future. This girl, I don't know how it's going to be. Perhaps tomorrow you don't know where this girl will be. Perhaps you don't know how things will turn around and she happens to be your savior or what. But her mind is totally made up that she don't want to talk about this matter. And this issue is troubling my mind so much. Please, I don't know how to go about this.
It all comes down to this: the clash of brilliance, the roar of conviction, and the fire of words. This Wednesday at 3 p.m, the battle.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Connection established.
This is the last lap, and we're listening to the voice note of this brother who's really concerned about his wife and her past and how the bitterness is taking over her or has taken over her. You heard him, met her. She told him about her past, good or okay. I think it's a good one. She told you she had a child with someone, but his concern and worry is how she is handling it with a lot of bitterness. She said the man who got her pregnant back then, she said she knows he's in prison and that he will not come out alive, and that she had to go and do some diabolical things to get him to that position where he is. And as for the daughter that she had out of that relationship, she doesn't want to have anything to do with that child. The child should be about 13, and he's asking her, why the bitterness? Why can't he just make peace, you know? But then he's worried about that, and I think you should be worried for a woman who would hold on to that. But then he's worried about that, and I think you should be worried for a woman who would hold on to that thing up until now. Bitterness, strife, wow, it's not something to forgive, or she needs to let go. Nobody said she has to have anything to do with the man. After all, she's married to you, right? And she's not even permitted in any way to have any form of relationship with the man. But letting go, because carrying around that baggage is like a poison to your system. You're poisoning yourself because of what someone did, you know? And as for your daughter, she would be your daughter. She came out from you, you know? Like you rightly said, you don't know whether this daughter, what she can turn out to be tomorrow. You're saying you don't want to have anything to do with the child because of the sins of the father. No, I think she needs to reconsider her stance. It's not a good one. Because what message would she be passing on to her children if they get to discover that they have a sibling? What message is she passing to you as the husband, So that means if anything goes wrong, because that's the fear. When you see someone is predisposed to a certain way of life, you can begin to think, okay, is that how you'd also handle issues if we have any issues between you and I? So forgiveness is something we need to preach. You need to sit her down and talk with her over and over again. But tomorrow we'll still harp on this issue. Thank you so much. I understand your concerns and they're very valid. All right, let me take on this one. He said, good afternoon, Swat. Well done work. Buy her gifts and possibly take her out. End of quarrel. You have started what you cannot finish, my brother. Go and do the needful and you'll see her smile again, says David Olorun Leke from Wuse Zone 3, reacting to the earlier message of the man and his wife. OKJ said, we do respect his wife. Apologizing means that she is a wonderfully made woman and needs to be embraced with ease. This is because most women hardly appreciate and admit a wrong being done. Talk of apologizing. Good afternoon. Well, OKJ, maybe you're lucky to have women around you who don't apologize, but you say most women. I don't know where you took that poll from. I think I'm one who doesn't hold back in apologizing alongside so many other people. So, yeah. There are people who come with different bad character traits. Doesn't mean that most women or most men. Generalizing is not a thing, right? Just because you're talking from your own experience. Hello, Swat. I'm Anselm from Kuchingoro. If the widow actually sees the child of her husband as her stepson, she won't be asking whether to stay in the house. Did she treat the boy well when the man was alive? Now he has inherited the house. There is confusion. These are the issues. She should stay in the house. And remember that she is a stepmother and the young man is now the man of the house. Meanwhile, I want to ask off-point question. All of you, Trump. Okay, this is not part of what we're discussing. Let me take on this one. Hello, Mrs. Swat. Hope you and your amazing husband are good. Yes, we are. This is Reverend Fred from Kubwa. It's so tragic. That widow advised she involve her late husband's family members if they consider giving her a share of the inheritance. Then for this man who has silent treatment with his wife after she offended him, he should call her politely and genuinely ask for forgiveness, and they should agree never to walk in silent treatment. Such acts have damaged marriages because one partner feels rejected. For the third man whose wife confessed how she dealt with her baby daddy, well, I believe he's scared of the extreme. She went by engaging in diabolic acts. She should ask if she meet a Christian counselor. If she gives her consent, then they should do so immediately because she's still bitter. Only God's word and deep counseling and prayers can heal such a person. I totally agree with you, Rev. And I think we have one last message before I go quickly. It's already 3:00. I married in November 2024 after 8 months of courtship. After marriage, my mother-in-law found old birthday cards from my ex and she showed her son, my husband. My husband also found some intimate old photos with the same ex, which I stashed away in an old carton. I had no extramarital affair and I love and care for my husband deeply, but he called off the marriage. We've been separated for a month without any contact from him. What do you think I need to do here? You said what is right and what is wrong here. Okay, I guess we'll pick this up tomorrow because my time is up. Hopefully I'll have Dr. Oladipo in the building and we'll get to talk some more.
This is